Hi everyone, it's Tanya from ThermoCharged. This morning I was on and I was showing you guys and talking about my health journey and what I've been having with my Thermomix while I go through this. So today for lunch, I've just been defrosting some chicken. Hold that thought. So for today for lunch, continuing on with my journey, I'm going to be having just some high heat chicken that's been cooked up, and I'm going to make enough for 2 days. So I've got enough for tomorrow as well as for today. And I'm also, and I could do more than that, I'm just doing for 2 days at the moment. And I'm also going to make myself up some apple slaw. So it's like coleslaw, a little bit more apple, so it's a lot fresher. And if you're not a huge veggie lover, this is a great one for you. So let me grab the chicken. And I just want to grab a different breadboard, so I'm not putting this chicken everywhere. Won't be a second. Okay, so as I was talking earlier, it's portion controlled for the beginning, using your protein, and then you get a certain amount of vegetables as well. Now I'm going to give these all some juices because these have been portioned out. So this is about a portion of my chicken for lunch. So that's 2 of them. Just going to give these juices to the dog. And what I'm going to do is just choose a different knife, and I'm just going to chop this up into strips. So for those of you who have got a TM6, we've got a feature which is a high heat feature on your Thermomix. Now I'm just doing chicken today, but usually I would turn this into a full stir fry with vegetables and chicken. So the recipe that I'm using is going to be either, I just search high heat chicken if I'm searching for it straight away, and it'll come up with a chicken strips or chicken cubes. So you can chop this whichever way that you like. It's not really going to make any difference. I prefer when I'm doing chicken and veggies to do it in strips, but it's completely up to you. So I popped that into strips. Because I'm doing this all the time, I'm actually going to go into this one, go into my menu, go into recently cooked, and in recently cooked I've actually got sauteed chicken strips. Now, yes, I want to resume the recipe. Now with this recipe, I ignore pretty much the whole recipe and just do whatever I like. So this is one with Emily, who's helping me out with this, that she's told me about, and it is so quick and easy. It is in a complete stir fry if that's what you want in 7 minutes, so it's a great lunch. I'm going to grab a little bit of garlic, because garlic goes in everything for me. So let me grab that. Okay, so I'm going to swap boards again. So I've just got 1 clove of garlic I'll do today. Usually I'd do 2 for just the meat, and 1 if it's just the stir fry on its own. So I'm going to throw that into the Thermomix. Done. I'm just going to press home on here to take it back to the beginning. And I'm going to take this up to about speed 7 to 9, just to blitz that piece of garlic. You could throw some ginger in here as well if you wanted to. So 3 seconds. 3 seconds, my garlic is done. The next thing I'm going to do is go back to the bookmark where I am in the recipe. I have my garlic blitzed. And I'm just going to knock that all down. And then I'm gonna add my chicken strips or cubes into there. Now, this is where it changes up. So if I want to make a single serve stir fry, and I will do this, I have done it before and I'll show you guys again. Basically, I just add half of what it asks for. So when we go backwards a bit, it asks for 250 grams of chicken for this recipe. So what I do is I add my portion of chicken, which is about 115 grams or 105 grams, and 125 grams of vegetables. Now, anything I'd usually put in a stir fry, throw it in. I'm doing all chicken today, but this is up to you how you want to do it. So put the mix in. For this, because I'm just doing chicken and I just want plain, I'm just going to add a pinch of salt in there. You can put your pepper in there, you can put your flavors, curry powders, taco seasoning, make it taco chicken, whatever you want to add into there. I'm also going to add some oil. So for me, with my plan, I've got ghee. So I'm going to add about a tablespoon of ghee into there. And that would be the same if it was a stir fry. And then I'm just going to add the lid with the splash guard. I'm just going to add that on and cook that off. So if we had vegetables and chicken in here, basically I would add a little bit of curry is usually my favorite, a little bit of curry powder that I've made, or the taco seasoning I've made, or an Italian herbs that I've got in there. I've also got my own garam masala that I've made. I could throw in a bit of that, a bit of cinnamon, a bit of cumin, something like that for a little bit more spicy. And basically, you're just making yourself a single serve stir fry. But we're doing 2 serves of the chicken today. So next on the screen, I've got my salt in. You can add the pepper if you want. Add the splash guard and turn it on for 7 minutes, and that's under control. Now in my other Thermomix, now if you don't have 2 Thermomixes, that's okay. This is really quick. You can throw that chicken into a container. It's fine cold. It's beautiful cold actually. Or you can keep it warm in your thermo server for when you're ready for it. But the next dish is the one that I would probably do first if you were doing the one bowl, because then you don't have to clean the bowls in between. So in this one, I'm doing my apple slaw. Now this is mainly going to be, let me get rid of my meat tray and knife. So this one, like I said, I've got about 125 grams that I'm having for my lunch. And with that, I have another piece of fruit. So this morning I had a piece of fruit, and now I have another piece of fruit, and it's apple, and my dog loves apple and he's lining up for it. But I'm going to throw the apple in there first, and this is actually quite a large apple, and I'm just throwing it into quarters, and then got a little bit deeper, and then I'm just chopping the quarter in half. So that's going in. This last quarter, because it's so big, I'm actually going to have that as a snack after lunch. So I'm just going to chop that down into 4 pieces so that I can have that with my lunch separate. Okay, give the dog some apple. There we go. So that's in. The next thing I'm going to do is just set the scales, and I'm just using, for me, I'm just using a bit of carrot, a bit of cabbage, and some cucumber in mine with the apple. Now you could change this up. I've also got leek on my list. I've also got broccoli on my list, cauliflower on my list, and a bunch of other stuff that I could throw into here as well or instead. So this is just going through my lot of veggies and just using whatever I want to use. So 125 grams to start with. I'm going to add about that much in carrot, which is about 25 grams. I'm going to add, I'll probably add a little bit more carrot actually. I'm going to add some cabbage, so it's a bit like coleslaw. So I'm up to about 70. Bring this down a bit further. And I've got about this much here. I'll see how much that comes to. I'll probably only need another half of that. Yep, so that's about right for my veggie serve. Throw this all back in my container. Now, if you wanted to dress this, you could. If my list, I wasn't having chicken protein with it, I may have like a goat's cheese or something like that. I would just put my whole serve of goat's cheese in there and mix it and use that as a dressing. However, when you have more really apple than you do of any other ingredient, it's really, really refreshing, and I don't find that it needs anything on there at all. You could add maybe like a little bit of cinnamon or something if you wanted that real sweetness to it, but I just add a pinch of salt, and that's it. So now all I'm going to do is watch it. Now you can, if you're cautious, go back to your home screen and set the time to 2 seconds, and then go around to speed 5, check it, knock it down, do another 2 seconds until you're consistent with it. But all I'm going to do is just go around straight to 5 and just watch what it's doing. So I'm going to release my lid a little bit. For those who don't have a TM6, the lid actually locks in. So I'm just going to hold it on top, take it around to 5. And that was about 3 seconds. So this is me going slow. I can check that out now. And I've basically got a really, really refreshing, really tasty coleslaw that doesn't really have anything on there. I could have added a little bit of I can't think of the oil that I use, and I don't have it here. Flaxseed oil. I could have added a little bit of that. See, there's just a couple of little larger bits in there. So I'm just going to blitz that for 1 more second. Now, 1 more second in Thermomix world is a long time, so don't go over 1 second. So I've gone to 4. So I now have got my coleslaw. So for lunch today, let me just throw this on my plate. It's probably one of the more boring dishes that I do, but it's really, really great for those days where it's a meeting day today, so I'm super flat out, as well as following up with everyone. So let me get this out of here. And you'll see just how much food this actually is for lunch. And this will get me through until about 7:30 tonight, when I have time for dinner. So that's it. That's all done. This has got 20 seconds on it, so hold that thought. Let's throw that into the wash. I've got my apple here. Throwing that on top. This is a huge pile of food, can I tell you? Huge pile. So I've got all of that on my plate for lunch. And you can see that this has browned. Hopefully you can see. Where did my spatula go? You can see all the really great browning at the bottom there. So we're just going to go through and lift all of that. Now, if I was doing a stir fry and I had curry powder in there and half meat, half veggies, then I would add a little bit of water now to make it really saucy, and then go backwards on my screen and then just put it on for 1 more minute. But as it is, I could leave it like that, but I prefer shredded. So this is done. I can say next. It says season again if you need to. But I'm going to finish that off, and I'm just going to go straight on to reverse. Speed 4 for about 4 seconds. So 4 seconds, and I'm just listening for it again. So I'm always just listening for what the Thermomix is doing. And I can hear that that's perfect. So now I'm going to split this into 2. And the quickest way to do that is to find the container that I'm putting it into. Not in there. Okay, so I'm going to put my plate on there, hit the scales, because the weight of cooked veggies is a little bit different to the weight of meat, I should say, is a little bit different. So I'm just taking that off, filling that up. Now, if you've got someone in the family who does not like steamed meat, they like a little bit of the fattiness to it or the browned on flavour, this is the better way to make shredded chicken. Okay, so I'm going to pop that on, work out approximately how much it is. So I'm going to do about 85 grams onto my plate. Add another tablespoon more here. Whoop. It's still steaming hot, can I tell you? That'll about do. So a tiny bit more. So that's going to go into the fridge. Now I could have done a double of the coleslaw as well and had that going in, but I may do steamed veggies or something tomorrow, who knows? Or I could even do a smoothie or something to go with the chicken, and a little bit of lettuce and cucumber, and make like a chicken roll or something like that, chicken wrap. So this is my lunch for today. I'm also going to grab myself a drink. I could have bread with this if I wanted to, the rye bread. But yeah, this is how my Thermomix is helping me get my health back on track. So this is absolutely delicious. I'm actually going to add a little bit of herb seasoning onto the chicken just to increase the flavors. And I'm back at work as soon as I finished eating. So thank you. Comment below if you want to know any more information. But yeah, getting health back on track, using your Thermomix, cooking for one, because I'm doing a lot of cooking for me and then for everybody else. And sometimes, you know, you have those moments where you are at home and you just want to cook for one person and you want it to be something decent. So this is definitely enjoyable. And can I tell you, I prefer this over the steam stuff. It's probably not as good for you, but I've nearly lost 10 kilos, so it must be doing something right. And this is the best coleslaw. I'm not a big fan of coleslaw. I prefer steamed veggies and roast veggies, but this is so good. Mainly apple. Love it. Talk to you soon. Bye.